The city was loud, fast, and glowing. Hovercars zoomed above glass roads. Robots cleaned the sidewalks. Digital ads lit up the skyline, offering everything from flying shoes to moon vacations. But inside the Linex showroom, time felt slow. It was quiet, cool, and full of glass, silver, and shine. Here, only the rich came to shop. This was where billionaires bought hovercars that didn't just fly, they danced. Then, the door opened. A woman walked in. She was tall, dark-skinned, and wore a plain gray dress. Her shoes were scuffed. Her curly hair was tied back simply. She had no jewelry, no designer tag, just calm eyes and a quiet presence. Her name was Ayla. The receptionist didn't greet her. She just glanced up, then looked down again, as if Ayla was someone lost. Across the room, two salesmen whispered, "Did she get lost?" "This is not a rental lot," one joked. "She probably came in to ask for directions," the other laughed. Ayla heard them, but she didn't say anything. She slowly walked past shining hovercars lined in a row, each one smoother than a spaceship, floating inches above the floor. She stopped in front of a Zephyr S9, a rare electric hovercar known for being faster than sound. Only 50 were made in the world. Her eyes studied every curve, every detail. She leaned in, gently running a finger along its silver frame. One of the salesmen, a tall man named Rick, finally walked over. His smile was fake. "Miss, do you need help finding the exit?" he said loudly, so the others could hear. Ayla turned to him. "No, I want to ask about this model. How long is the flight range without brake charge?" Rick raised his eyebrows. "Excuse me." She repeated her question, slow, polite, serious. Rick scoffed. "You want to know about this hovercar?" "Yes," she said. Another salesman, Danny, joined him. "Do you even know how much this car costs?" Ayla stayed calm. "Yes." Rick chuckled. "Let me explain something to you," he said. "This car, just the seat warmers, cost more than your dress." Danny added, "You'd need 10 lifetimes to afford the tire polish." The two men laughed. The receptionist peeked over, smiled a little, and went back to typing. Ayla looked at them quietly. She didn't yell. She didn't argue. Instead, she gave a small nod and said, "Thank you for your time." She turned and slowly walked out of the showroom. Rick muttered under his breath, probably came in to take pictures for her dream board. The doors closed behind her with a soft whoosh. Outside, the sky above the megacity was a soft purple. Hovertrams passed overhead, and small delivery drones buzzed by. Ayla stood there for a moment on the sidewalk. People rushed past her, too busy to notice her stillness. She looked up at the sky, then at a star that had just started to glow through the city lights. She whispered softly, "He'll know." Then she reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, old-looking device. It looked like a simple communicator, but the screen glowed blue with strange symbols. She pressed a button. It made no sound. No message showed. But somewhere, far away, something woke up. Sunlight poured in through the giant glass windows. Hovercars hovered silently in neat rows, shining like treasures. Soft music played in the background. Rick sipped his energy drink. Danny checked his reflection on a car's mirror, fixing his hair. "Quiet day," Rick said. "Let's hope for real customers today." Danny laughed. Not dreamers in rags asking about S9s. They both chuckled, thinking about Ayla from the day before. But at exactly 11 o'clock a.m., the building shook, just slightly, like a soft rumble in the air. Then came a sound. Whoosh, like a wind tunnel opening above them. Everyone turned. Through the sky roof, a black hover Royce descended from the clouds. It was sleek, massive, silent. The receptionist dropped her tablet. The hover Royce had gold trim and a glowing symbol on the hood, something not from any brand they knew. It looked ancient, royal, powerful. The car didn't land. It hovered inches above the ground. A staircase slid out from the side with a hiss of air. Then, he stepped out. A tall black man in a deep navy suit. His face was calm, but powerful. His beard was silver. His shoes glowed with soft tech runes. Behind him, bodyguards in armor-like suits followed quietly. Rick blinked. "Who is that?" Danny whispered. That's not just any rich guy." No one knew his name, but everyone knew what he was. A galactic trade leader. Only a few in the galaxy, above presidents, beyond CEOs. They bought planets, they moved markets, and they never came to a single showroom. Everyone froze. He walked inside like a king entering a temple. The hover Royce stayed outside, still floating. He walked up to the receptionist. "Good morning. Is this where my daughter was insulted yesterday?" The receptionist went pale. I'm sorry. I don't." Rick and Danny stepped forward, faking smiles. "Sir, maybe you're mistaken," Rick said. "We treat all guests with respect," the man asked softly. He turned toward them. His eyes, dark, steady, made both men feel like they were shrinking. Danny stammered. We didn't know she was your daughter, sir." "You didn't need to know," the man said. His voice was low, but powerful, like thunder hidden in clouds. At that moment, Ayla entered. She looked just like yesterday, modest dress, quiet steps. But now, she walked beside her father. Her calm face said everything. She hadn't been alone. Gasps whispered through the room. One of the workers accidentally knocked over a glass. Rick's face turned red. We didn't mean to." "You treated her like dust," her father said, "because she wore quiet clothes, because she didn't shout, because she asked smart questions." Silence. Then he pulled out a small glowing chip and placed it on the front desk. "I was going to buy 20 Zypher S9s today, but I think I'll buy them elsewhere." Danny's mouth dropped open. "Sir, wait." "No," Ayla said quietly. "Let them keep their showroom. We don't need their shine." Her father turned. Ayla followed. Before they reached the exit, her father looked back. "Next time, treat every guest like they might own the sky." The doors whooshed open. They stepped outside. The staircase folded back. The hover Royce rose, then vanished into the sky with a flash of light. Back inside, no one spoke. Not even the music played. Rick and Danny stood still like statues. No customer walked in for hours. No one laughed. No one dared. That afternoon, the showroom manager, Mr. Kellen, arrived. He was tall, sharp-eyed, and known for firing people without blinking. His voice was always calm, but cold like metal. "I heard we had a situation," he said. Rick tried to explain. "Sir, we didn't know who she was. She looked normal." Danny added quickly, "Just a simple girl in second-hand clothes." Kellen raised one eyebrow. "And because of that, you insulted her." Rick stayed quiet. Mr. Kellen pulled out a device, waved his hand, and a screen floated up. It showed Ayla's father, his entrance, his words, his warning. Everyone watched again, this time slower, clearer. "Do either of you know who he is?" Kellen asked. "No, sir," Rick said, voice small. Kellen tapped the floating screen. A deep blue hologram of a file appeared. It showed Ayla's father's face. Under it, one line read, "Name, VORINAZIEL. Status, ultra-class citizen. Galactic Trade Federation. Net worth, classified, known holdings. 3 moons, 6 starships, 1 black diamond world." Danny's eyes widened. Black diamond world? Rick's knees almost gave out. He owns planets? Kellen didn't smile. He's not just a customer. He's a power. He doesn't take revenge like you think. He doesn't scream or post angry messages. He moves quietly. But when he moves, companies vanish. Rick looked sick. "You think he'll shut us down?" Kellen nodded. He could buy the parent company, fire every name in our directory, and it wouldn't even show on his spending chart. The silence got heavier. Danny gulped. "Should we apologize?" Kellen turned to both of them. "No, you will not. You're being transferred." "Where?" Rick asked. "To Sector 9, Kellen said. "A hover bike lot in the underground district." Both men looked horrified. That was a dead zone. No customers, no tips, no future. Then Kellen added coldly, "And you're lucky you're not being sued." He shut the file with a wave. It vanished into thin air. But something was still bothering him. Kellen sat in his office and opened Ayla's profile next, just to be sure. But what he found made his heart stop. There was no real data on Ayla, no school records, no hospital logs, no address history. Her digital ID was clean, too clean, like it had been created only recently or protected by something massive. One line made his hands sweat. Clearance level. Raid LPK/shielded by Federation Core. Kellen leaned back in his chair. He had worked with the richest, the most powerful, but even he had never seen a file this locked down. Who was she? She wasn't just the daughter of a trade leader. She was something more. Back at Ayla's home, far above the clouds in a floating villa, she stood alone on the edge of her balcony. The city glowed below her like a map of stars. Her father joined her. "They'll learn," he said softly. Ayla didn't look at him. She was quiet. "I don't want them to fear us," she finally said. "They don't need to," he replied. "But they should respect every soul, whether they shine or not." Ayla looked up. "You protected me." Her father smiled. "One day you'll protect others." Then he handed her a small glowing disc. "What's this?" she asked. He smiled. "The key to something they'll never expect." It was no bigger than a coin, but it pulsed gently with soft blue light, like it was breathing. "What's inside this?" she asked her father. He looked toward the stars. "Not something," he said. "Someone." Ayla blinked. "What do you mean?" He finally met her eyes. "You were born with something inside you. Something rare. I hid it away when you were small, to keep you safe. That disc unlocks it." Her heart pounded. "You're not just my daughter," he said. "You're the next key bearer." "The what?" she whispered. Her father placed a hand on her shoulder. "Our family didn't build wealth from money. We built it from protecting a secret. A very old secret that people across galaxies would kill to own." Ayla felt like her breath had stopped. She turned the disc slowly in her palm. The light changed from blue to violet. Her father took a step back. "When you're ready," he said, "press it against your heart." Ayla hesitated. Then slowly, she did. The disc melted into her chest like a drop of water into a pool. Her eyes widened. A wave of warmth spread through her body, then electricity, then visions. She gasped. She saw stars bending, machines bowing, a voice in her mind whispering, "Initiating code, Azura Prime." Her knees gave out. She dropped to the floor. Her father caught her before she hit the ground. When her eyes opened again, they glowed faint violet. She whispered, "I saw something strange." Her father nodded. "The vault is waking up." Vault? He led her to a room hidden behind a wall in the villa. It opened to a stairway, leading deep into the core of the floating home. Cold air, metallic walls, strange symbols glowing. At the center was a platform with a floating cube. The cube had the same color as the disc. Ayla stepped toward it. The cube began to spin slowly. It scanned her face, then her chest. A soft voice filled the room. DNA matched. Host confirmed. Vault unlocked. The walls opened. Inside, Ayla saw a map of unknown galaxies. Weapons made of light. A book with pages that floated on their own. And a chair shaped like a throne, but humming, alive. Her father watched quietly. "You don't have to choose this life," he said. "But now you know who you really are." Ayla walked slowly to the throne-like chair. It lit up as she approached. The floating pages turned, showing her images of her past and her future. Suddenly, she saw the car dealership staff, laughing, mocking. Then she saw something else. A warning. A group of black-suited figures watching her image from across the galaxy. Her father looked up sharply. "They found the signal," he said. "They'll come now." "Who are they?" Ayla asked. He frowned. "People who believe power should belong only to the few. People who fear someone like you." Outside the villa, far above Earth's skies, a dark ship uncloaked. Its engines didn't make a sound, but it carried hunters, and they were already locking onto her location. Back inside, Ayla stood strong. She didn't look scared anymore. "Let them come," she whispered. Her eyes still glowed, and the vault behind her began to awaken. The next morning, the skies over the megacity were clear. No one noticed the dark ship hiding above the clouds. But Ayla did. She could feel it. Inside her, something had changed. Her thoughts were faster. Her steps were lighter. Her eyes picked up sounds, light, and even movement no human should see. She looked at her father. "They're watching us now," she said. He nodded, "and they're planning something." Ayla turned to the vault. The book of floating pages hovered nearby. One page glowed. A warning in golden letters appeared. "False light will rise. Be ready." Ayla closed her eyes. She saw it clearly. The same showroom. The same rude staff. But this time, they weren't laughing. She opened her eyes. "I have to go back." Her father looked surprised. "Now?" She nodded. "They laughed at me when I was quiet. They looked down on me because I looked poor. Let them see what they missed." He walked to the wall and pressed his hand on a flat surface. The wall slid open, revealing a car. But not a normal car. It hovered off the ground, made from a smooth black metal that shimmered in the light. The edges shifted like liquid, but stayed solid. "What is that?" Ayla asked. He smiled. "Your mother's last gift. It listens only to blood." Ayla stepped closer. The car opened on its own. No handles, no keys. Just silence. She got in. The car knew her. It glowed from inside. The seat shaped around her. A soft voice greeted her. "Welcome, key bearer, destination." She whispered, "The dealership." The car shot into the sky. No one saw it move. It didn't leave trails, just vanished into the clouds like smoke. At the dealership, things were normal. Salesmen were laughing, sipping their morning synth coffee. The same rude man, Darren, was showing off the hover cars to a rich client. "That model," he bragged. 50 million credits. Only made 4. Suddenly, a shadow passed above them. Everyone looked up. Something was descending. Not a normal ship. It was smooth, silent, elegant, and black as space. The glass doors slid open. Ayla stepped in. This time, her posture was tall, her face calm, but strong. Everyone froze. Darren blinked. "Are you again?" Ayla didn't speak. Her eyes glowed faintly violet. Darren forced a fake laugh. "If you're back for jokes, sorry." Then her car landed inside the showroom. No noise, no engine. Just appeared. Everyone backed away. The car's surface shifted, revealing symbols no one understood. Ayla stepped beside it and pressed her hand on its hood. It responded by glowing. Soft music played, like whispers in space. "I came," she said, "to return something." She reached into her coat and pulled out the same blue coin from before. But now it floated, spinning, humming. The floating coin hovered over her palm and projected a 3D map into the air. Galaxies, paths, stars. People screamed and backed away. One old technician fainted. Darren dropped his drink. Ayla looked straight at him. "You laughed at a woman in plain clothes. Now look at yourself." He stuttered. "Ellie, who are you?" She turned slowly to face the room. "I'm the daughter of the man who controls the vaults," she said, "and I'm no longer hiding." The floating coin glowed brighter. And outside the window, the sky began to darken. The ship from above was finally descending, and it wasn't friendly. Ayla watched it approach. She didn't flinch. "I wanted to show you kindness," she whispered, "but now, I'll show you truth." Behind her, the vault symbol burned into the air like a glowing seal. And above them, the hunters arrived. The skies above the dealership turned black, not because of clouds, because of the ship. It was massive, like a floating city, silent, smooth, no engines, just a cold presence pressing down from the sky. Inside the showroom, panic spread. Customers ran. Staff screamed. Darren backed away, staring at Ayla like she wasn't human. Ayla didn't move. She stood calmly beside her shimmering black car, her eyes glowing faintly purple. From the skyship, a beam of light shined down, and a figure descended. Not a man, not a machine, something between both. Tall, silver-skinned, eyes like stars. It floated, not walked. And it spoke with a voice that echoed without sound. You opened the vault. You broke the seal. You carry what is not meant for Earth. Ayla stepped forward. I carry what my mother left behind, she said firmly. And I carry it with truth. The alien paused, its head tilted, studying her. Behind her, the black car glowed, symbols spinning around its surface. The floating blue coin projected images into the air. Her mother, a hidden vault, a council of watchers in a galaxy far beyond Earth, a war that never ended, and Ayla, standing in the center of it all. The alien slowly reached out a hand. Return it, and you will live. Ayla smiled, but there was sadness in her eyes. I didn't come this far just to give it back. She raised her hand, and the air shook. The vault symbol appeared in the sky, glowing like a second sun. Then, a beam of light shot down behind the alien. Another ship had arrived. Smaller, sleeker. It landed softly beside the showroom, and from it stepped her father, dressed in ancient armor, glowing with gold threads. His eyes met hers. You called, he said simply. I remembered, she replied. He stepped beside her. Let them see who we are. The alien moved back slightly. You are not of this world, it hissed. No, Ayla said. We're of two, and we belong to both. Suddenly, the skyship cracked, not broken, but transformed. It shifted, bent into light, and from it, more figures stepped down. But they didn't attack. They knelt. One by one, the watchers bowed their heads. Ayla's car floated into the air. The coin returned to her palm, spinning gently. And then, silence. The rude staff inside the dealership, Darren included, stood frozen, speechless. The girl they mocked, the one they laughed at for dressing modestly, was now glowing with power, peace, and purpose. Ayla turned toward them. She didn't yell. She didn't punish. She simply said, never judge what you cannot understand. Then she stepped into her car. Her father followed. The car rose. The watchers followed. And in one flash of soft violet light, they vanished into the sky. 3 days later, the dealership had changed. People whispered about the day the sky bent. Security footage was wiped. The staff acted normal, but they knew they'd seen something beyond human. As for Darren, he quit, moved to the countryside, and never laughed at anyone's clothes again. Meanwhile, above the clouds, a new vault opened, and Ayla stood at its gate, stronger than ever, ready to protect what her mother left behind.